Back at the 40. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. From the gun, here's Cousins. Dancing to his left. Lets it fly for Thielen. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 18 yards there and a first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
A first down throw for Cousins. Flushed out right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make our score 14-7. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Fighting through. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
A carry for Foreman. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Now a play fake here on first down. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They go play action here on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there, and I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
Flush to his right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And that's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Hey, Clipper. Lucky 50.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And Robinson with a big catch. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down.
Go ahead. Yellow.
Cousins on 1st down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aldrick Robinson as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Bailey got the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Short kick. One of the up men will take it now. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
A second down throw for Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Lets it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Gun. Wide.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
It got his man complete. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Watson looking deep down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Second down, Cousins. Flushed out right. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins being chased out left. The left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Gun! The hawk! On Andy! Pacer! Through! Lynn, 50, here we go!
They go play action. Cousins sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Flipper! Split 50! Hey, Flipper!
Cousins again. Going deep for Diggs. It's caught at the 10. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 45 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney. with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, it's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And now out comes Houston. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They keep it with Miller on first down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical, spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Now Watson. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Liz 50, here we go.
Following the interception, Cousins flush to his right. His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hey, Steamer. Liz 50.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Watson will bring up the Texans here first and 10 at their own 16. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Here's Watson now on second down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ben Gideon coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big gain of 38 there on third down.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on third and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, and so it's almost like someone...
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game, and if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Going deep for Diggs. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 51 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now Watson. Now a desperation throw, deep depth, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 74 yards. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing here, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
300.
Now a run with Cook. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was... And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, partner, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended. Down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal and go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys are going to continue to get more and more traction in the league. We've talked about different people now saying, I need a game management coach, someone in the booth to take the emotion out of it. Did they lose track of where they were on the clock, right? Did they lose track of where they were on the field? Was it makeable for their kicker? All those things come into play here. And it turns out they don't get it done.